Welcome to my channel, as today we explore something bicycle once again. And we have my 1985 Guercioti 10-speed drive track bicycle, all equipped with Suntour Superbe Pro, minus a few Camp Agnolo items. Originally I had two track bikes, a custom-made Crawford track bike which had Camp Agnolo Super Record on it. I used to have two track bikes. One was a custom Crawford track bike. It originally had all the Suntour Superbe Pro components on it. This was back when Suntour first came out with the Superbe Pro components. And I ended up getting a sponsorship from them. Got a full track outfit from them, including sprinting crankset and a pursuit crankset. And we'll see that later on. But a few years ago, I sold that bike, but I really loved the Superbe Pro over the Campy at that time. And I put most of the Superbe Pro on this bike, minus the headset, which the Superbe Pro had a smaller stack height than the Campy Super Record track headset did, and the seat post, which was 27.0 versus 27.2 on this bicycle. But we're going to take a look at these components up close now, and hopefully this is what you're looking for. This is basically a time capsule. I kept everything in perfect condition, much as I could over the time. And we're going to see some really nice componentry right now. So here we go. Now I had multiple wheel sets. I still have two. The one that's on the bike. And another set that I think I maybe did 2 laps with to make sure they're okay. I'll probably end up selling those hubs sooner or later. But we can take a look at the hubs first. Suntour Superbe Pro, and the bearings in these things are absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. You think, why do you need ceramic if you just get really top end quality bearings? But I will tell you, ceramics are slightly better. Like the Camp Agnolo Cult and the Camp Agnolo USBs are slightly better than these. And these are probably were tip top back then. Beautiful wheel set, 32 spoke. Did 3 crossed. These are Peanut Arrow. They're bladed, back from 1980s. And this rim has a sticker on it of its weight, which is right over here. 277 grams for Fiamme Yellow Label Ergos. So this rim weighed 277 grams. I was a lightweight back then, under 125 pounds. So I got the lightest stuff that was out there. Moving on real quickly to a Camp Agnolo part. This headset is a Camp Agnolo Super Record track headset. Rare as hen's teeth now. Beautiful headset. Beautiful bicycle. Of course, this had Chinelli. The old crest for Chinelli. And the stem. Of course, I mentioned the seat post is not original either. This had a, I think it's Crochet d'On or Course Arrow seat post. I'm really not sure. I don't think it was the record one. This one had a really nice Sila Italia turbo with the gold emblems on it. Going back to the rear wheel, of course we have the Suntour Superbe Pro. I should mention too that the tires, which were the ones I used decades ago, are the Vittoria Pista CS Sera, the silk tires, and they really spin easily. Of course, the Suntour lock ring. Name should be on there somewhere, right about there. And of course, these are 165 cranks. There's 165. These are the really stiffest cranks back then, back in the day. and I think they look the best. Only one crankset looked better than Suntour Superbe Pro, and that was the Mistral cranksets from Italy, where they're kind of off-cantered and look really, really cool. But those were for the road only. And this has the Suntour Superbe Pro bottom bracket in it also, for track. Italian threaded, of course. And I have a 48 on there right now, or is that 49? Track pitch chain. Beautiful hub set. Even the bolts. The Campies were a little bit better looking, that is, but these I think were better functional. Beautiful crankset. And this was a full professional racing kit, meaning it came with the sprint cranks, which were the 165s, and the pursuit cranks, which were the 170s. As I mentioned, this came with 2 track cranks, the 165, which is on the bike for sprinting, and we have 170s here, right there. And these are used for pursuit events. Longer crank arms. There's a 46 on here. I do believe I have a 48 on the sprints. And this kit came with a bag. Came with some tools. I unfortunately lost a couple of tools. One was a wrench similar to this, but it was dual-sided, I think on both sides. I left it in a friend's Honda Civic back in 1985. But we have original Superbe Pro chain rings. 40. This is a 49. We have a 50 and a 51. I found out I tried to get the smallest chain ring up front because it was a small crank arm. I got better torque out of the smaller chain rings and using a larger cog in the back. What we found out is there were different lock ring sizes on the rear cogs. This one I used a lot. This looks like to be a 16. We have a 17 here. This is a 13 that came with a specific lock ring. You'll see they're machined a little bit differently, and you'll see the difference in this next one here. 14, and this really small one here, and this 13. If you notice, got a big cutout on the inside here, the 13. It used a specific lock ring that was more beveled on the side because it needed to stay away from the chain. And these ones had different bevels because of the chain interference. We go back to the bike real quickly. You'll see this lock ring is really pushed out. This one has the largest push out for chain interference. And I just kind of kept that one on there all the time. Of course, depending upon which rear cog I had. I don't remember the brand of chain I had on here. I assume it's Italian. If you happen to know, put down in the comments what brand chain this is. I can't seem to read anything off of it. Of course, on a track, you want to make sure that your chain is straight from the rear cog to the front chain ring. I also had the pedals at one time, but I crashed with them and put a horrible tick into it feeling, so I ended up selling it. Those are really nice, and those things spun forever too. I probably have pictures of it somewhere. But this was the professional kit, Pursuit crankset, and Sprinter's crankset. Put on my Guercioli bicycle. That's all we have today. A quick preview of Suntour Superbe Pro Track from 1985 era. Don't forget to give a thumbs up, like, subscribe, share for more bicycle stuff in the future. And we'll see you later.